Well, guys, this is it. This is our moment of truth. We have an opportunity for a breakout for ADA, a breakout for BTC, and for the market in general. And it's a question of will we? Will we not? I will say most people, it looks like, missed out on some pretty important information I gave yesterday, and I want to just highlight that once again. I do want to talk about how ADA actually leads in community sentiment, which is a pretty big deal, and there is the strangest liquidation setup I think I've ever seen. So if you guys are new or haven't already, hit that subscribe button, that bell. They're free to do. They will keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So ADA still just sits right at the edge of its breakout, right at the edge of this big bull flag that had been building again since all the way in December, the one that we've been talking about the last several days. And right now we're at the point where we could, in fact, make a little bit of a push out of here. Not saying it's happening quite yet, but leverage is setting up perfectly for this. And we may get a little bit of help from BTC because BTC is also on the edge of its breakout. We've been talking about it kind of hanging right around here. And today it has made a move right to the edge of this. And it's a question of, again, will it, won't it? Will we get a rejection like we've seen several times before? Let's see, the first time was on a Thursday into a Friday. This time was actually a Monday into a Wednesday. So this is the first weekend setup we have that's actually testing a breakout on trend. That could, in fact, work in our favor. We'll have to just watch and wait and see what happens. And I'll get to leverage here in just a moment. But, ADA kind of being where it's at, right on, above its 200-week moving averages is a great spot to be. Can't really complain about a whole lot going on right now. I will say this is a very, very low volume weekend. This is the lowest volume weekend we've seen in about a month. Only $66 billion in daily trading volume. Kind of low. I don't know if you guys remember. Back in, what was that? May and April, most weekends, $40 billion in daily trading volume. ADA is probably about 300 million or so right now. Yeah, about $344 million in daily trading volume. So market's just kind of watching and waiting. And what I will say here, though, some things that are beneficial for ADA is one, we have the most bullish community setup or community sentiment in all of crypto at 90%. The comments may not indicate that. People being loud on YouTube may not indicate that, but this is probably a reason why the fundamentals for ADA have in fact been so good, why you've seen such good defensive price, why you've seen some of this whale accumulation take place. These are all positive signs. Even if you don't want to hear it, we're in a pretty good spot right now. Now, what may also help ADA here is we have some perfect liquidation setup. Now, I have to say, this is the strangest BTC liquidation chart I think I've ever seen. We have these weird liquidation pockets and gaps in the charts, and I've never seen this before. So BTC has started working into some of those short leverage liquidations to the upside. That could actually send us on a run about to 109.5 or so, and then we have a gap up until about 110. And understand that we might not move fast through this if you don't have volume. We're just kind of slowly but surely trickling along here. And I will say in terms of ADA, this is actually very good to look at both the weekly and the 2-week chart. And you guys can see that, yes, we do have some long leverage to the downside, but there is thick concentrations of short leverage to the upside. Same thing on the 2-week. This is absolutely ridiculous how much shorting there is going on versus ADA in the crypto market. Guys, you could very easily see wicks with volume up to about 70 cents. We talked about 62 cents, but guys, we've seen a lot of that leverage fill in even tighter, and you could be talking about wicks that move even higher faster. All right. So not saying this is going to happen for sure, because again, it's a weekend, it's low volume. Volume would kind of need to be present for us to start making some of those moves. We could see a BTC jump and see us push that way, but we do need to make some moves here. I will say we're building a little bit of a bearish pennant here. Something to maybe watch there. But what I will say here also is that for those who missed my video yesterday, I talked about two very specific things, and you guys should go check this out. But just a little bit of a summary for you. In terms of BTC dominance, we actually have bearish divergence building on the daily. It's a good sign. We also have bearish divergence building on the weekly. You guys see here? This is a great sign, a good setup for what may be coming. We could be talking about some relief for altcoins, but this isn't the only thing indicating that. Like I talked about in that video, we actually saw a drop from a weekly average from about 1.6 billion dollars a drop from $2.5 billion in altcoin inflows to exchanges down to 1.6 billion as of June 27th. So you're actually seeing altcoin inflows to exchanges slow down in a huge way. And this historically has led us to pumps in the market, specifically for altcoins. Now, I'm not saying that has to be consistent. You could very easily see a day where someone calls it quits and throws, billions of dollars worth of altcoins to exchanges, but it's been very consistent net flows that are negative, all right, which is, again, people buying and hoarding for the long term, but you're fighting against less and less and less sell pressure, right? That's why we're seeing less volatility. That's why we're seeing lower volume. That's why we're seeing better floors in terms of price. And that's why, again, we're on the verge of breakouts across the crypto market. Sometimes you just have to connect the dots here. And I hope that we just don't get any, negative news that pushes the market down. That would definitely suck, but that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully this can turn into another good day. Obviously, we've had a couple here for ADA. Yesterday was 1.2%. The day before was 0.79%. So if we can muster up a little steam here, again, you could be talking about a little bit further of a breakout to the upside. Really watch this 20-day moving average. That's at about 60 cents or so, but that's what we got. So hopefully this continues. Love to see what's taking place right now. Don't fall for the bearishness. Oh, I need to mention as well, there's a lot of bot comments right now on YouTube. I'm trying to do my best to stay ahead of them, guys. Yesterday, I probably had to delete like 2,000 comments. YouTube has got to get a hold of that because it's getting absolutely ridiculous. But trying to keep it all clean for you guys. So have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.